This is Carlos with Rock and Tune. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a MISTRESS module. I currently have two other modules already set up. The first one is in C# standard, and the other one is in drop A. I'd like to have another tuning which is in drop D, and so I have the strings here that I already put aside, and you can find the correct gauges, the recommended gauges, in our website. And I'm just going to move the camera and do a close-up so you can see what I'm doing in more detail. Okay, so the first thing to do is to remove the current module. To do that, put the leveling tool under the bridge right here, and then release the nut. Let's just put this one aside. I have here the nut that's going to go here, and the bridge module. So to install the strings, what I do, I just install all the strings in the bridge first. Yeah, I just cut the ball end here. And then right here, there's a little set screw. And it should stay with the screwdriver because it's a magnetic tip screwdriver. And then here, I'm just gonna put this string through that string hole and then push it in and make sure it passes the edge of the hole here. Right, so all you do is put this back, just give it a good squeeze, and then do the same thing for the other strings. Okay, so once you have this complete, I make sure that my clamps here are positioned halfway between the channels so that I have room to fine-tune either way later. Then you put the bridge right there. Now we're gonna pass the strings through the nut. So what I recommend now is just remove the set screws and the steel pads that are in the high strings, the plain strings, because you need to put the pad on top of the string. Okay, just gonna put them aside. And it's hard to see, but it's a tiny pad, and it usually comes with the set screw. It's a little bit magnetic, so it's kind of stuck to it. But if it's not, then just make sure you pull the little pads out. So they're small parts, so you have to be careful here. But so you have the 3 set screws and the 3 steel pads. So I'm just going to put this nut here now, and then you turn this middle set screw, which is a tensioning that screw. So you want to tighten it firmly here, and the nut needs to be all the way back, touching the 2 little ears that you have on the back here, which are the grooves for the guide pins. That is the set point, so that's where you want the nut to be when you're first setting up your tuning. So what you do here, gotta release this one a little bit. You just pass all these strings through. And then just pass all the strings through the nut. So now I'm just going to put this pads over the strings. Okay, I don't want to tighten this all the way right now. I'm just gonna put the set screws back so that we don't lose those little pads, because they are pretty small. At this point, it is easier to just move the whole guitar the other way so I can actually work on it a little bit easier here. So this part is basically what you're going to do is the same thing that you do with a regular Floyd Rose or a regular Ibanez tremolo, right? You're just going to wrap this a little bit, and then we'll tune it in a sec after I do this to all of the strings. To adjust the intonation, I'm just going to show it with the guitar flat. This one is in D, so let's check here. It's pretty close. Okay, so to adjust it, all you have to do is move this screw here and it moves the saddle. Turn the screw and moves the saddle back and forth. So I think I needed to go back a little bit. Okay. Okay, let's check here on the 5th fret, G, and then the 17th. Pretty close. It could go back a little bit more. Okay, so let's check again. D, D, G, G. That's where it's supposed to be. Just gonna check the 1st fret here. D sharp, D, D sharp, D. Usually I check the 1st fret as well, because if you don't check it here and maybe your 0 fret is too high, or like meaning the nut is too high, when you press down, then you have to press so far down that it will, make the note sharp. So if that happens, most likely you're gonna have to, after you finish setting up, you can trim the strings. You can just remove the system, remove the nut, and then adjust the height of the nut seat here on the neck. Okay, so at this point you do that for all the strings. Like check the intonation. So this is in tune, and the intonation is properly set up. So all we have to do now is lock the strings here and then trim the strings on the headstock side. So what I'm gonna do is move the guitar back. You just lock them. You don't have to put a lot of force, just a little squeeze holding the screwdriver like this. It should be enough. But I just want to make sure that when I release the tension here, that my strings are not going flat, meaning that you didn't apply enough force here on the screwdriver. So this one is good. This one's also good. The G, good. You just basically trim the strings right here about 1/8 of an inch or a couple of millimeters away from the nut. Alright, so I'm just gonna remove this from here because we don't need them anymore. Okay, so I had a lot of questions on Instagram asking why do you even need the machine heads. We use it to do the initial installation of the strings, but then also later if you break a string, you'd have to do the same thing for that one string, just use the machine head here. The design was intended to be a retrofit to the Ibanez or to the Floyd Rose bridge, so there's limited space that I have to work with. So even though you have quite a bit of range here on the fine tuners, maybe a step and a half, I don't think it's enough to just use this for like a headless guitar currently. I am working on a different design which is for specific for headless guitars, and then it would have more travel here, so then you could just use the fine tuners to set up the guitar. But anyway, so this one is set up. I'm gonna do a quick check with a different angle, just showing the tunings and swapping between the 3 different tunings. So let's check this tuning again using a different tuner. So this one's drop D, a little bit off. Okay, the D needs to be adjusted. So say that you want to play something now in the different tunings that you had set up, like a C sharp standard. So I come here, put the leveling tool under the bridge, release the nut, okay, I'm gonna move this one here, and then you got the C sharp, slide it in place, and then lock it with the nut set screw. So this one's in C sharp. This one's a little bit off. Just a little bit moved. Okay. Okay, so this one is good. Now say that you want to go to drop A. We're gonna do the reverse. Put this here, and then so the kit comes with the fine tuners boots basically, and you know it's just helpful for when you're starting the system or just transporting it, so that you know things don't touch the fine tuners and move the clamps here, because then you would change your tuning. So to remove it, you know, just pull it like that. Okay, remove the tool. Okay, so this one is drop A. This one's way off. Just a drop A. So the other strings are probably going to be, let's see what's happening here. Just a little bit of the fine tuner goes back. Okay, let's check the other ones now. E, A, D, F, sharp, B. So they're all a little bit off. Maybe just needed to stabilize a little bit. Let's do some. Okay, this one's a little bit off. Okay.